Hi guys, so this is my first video. However, I wanted to share some of the things I got at the 2017 IMATS located in London. It was my first IMATS, and I figured I could talk about some of the things I saw and some of the things I really liked, and also share with you what I bought. So let's get started. I don't have a particular order, I just kind of got things in the bag. Unfortunately, when I got there, the event started I think at 9 and I got there at about 11 because I live a little ways from London and it would have been really early in the morning. But however, Urban Decay was giving out these beautiful bags, so. Alright, let's get started with the first products. I did happen to go to the MAC stand. They had 20 or 25% off, I can't remember. So either way, that's really nice because there were some products I've always wanted. One of the first products I got was MAC's Fix Plus, which I actually haven't ever owned. So this is the Fix Plus. I tried some of it yesterday because they had the stand with the samples and I really liked it. It made my face and my makeup feel nice. I'm also a really big fan of MAC lipstick. I own quite a few. I never actually owned Ruby Woo, which is funny because red lipstick's one of my favorites. So I bought MAC's Ruby Woo along with the matching lip liner to go with it. So, because I've bought MAC lipsticks in the past, and the one that I have that also has the matching liner, which is Whirl, I love it. I love to use the liner with the lipstick. I think it makes it wear better. I think it makes it apply better. And also the matte and retro matte, like the Ruby Woo, tend to be just my favorite kind of formula. They don't fade really badly. They stay on well, they look beautiful, and so I just really love matte lips. The next thing I got was a beauty blender. I actually have quite a few beauty blenders, and I've never actually owned the nude one. And so when I saw it there, I thought that would be a good one to add to my collection. And when I bought that, it actually came with this nice little set, which I didn't realize. And I almost bought one of the full-size blender cleansers. I was really glad I didn't because it came with 2 of these sample size of the liquid cleansers, which, I mean, you don't need much, so those will last really well, I think. It also came with 2 of the mini blender cleanser solids, which again, really nice, I think really useful. And then they were also giving out these, the Blotterazzi's, which I think work like the blotting papers, except obviously you only need the one. So it doesn't come with the plastic packaging like it does if you actually buy it, but it does have the nice little sponge, so I figured I'd give it a try. Haven't heard the best reviews on it, and I do tend to have dry skin, but I get kind of oily in my chin, so still a nice thing to have. And again, it came with another liquid blender cleanser. So there's that. Another booth that I went and saw, well, it was actually a third-party booth, but they were selling Sigma there. And I have not a crazy amount of makeup brushes, but I mean I do have a decent amount here. And when I'm washing all of them, my hands really tend to get kind of raw on the bottom and dry. And so I decided I'd give the Sigma Spa Express Matte a try. Kind of suction cups into the bottom of your sink. And there's an eye side and a face side, and you just swirl your brush around in it while the water's running with the soap, and it helps get them clean without drying out your hands. So I thought that would be something nice to try. Also, I've never actually tried Sigma brushes. I've always tended to go for other brands just because Sigma had to be bought online. I mean, I knew that they were probably very good, but I wanted to try other brands, but I figured I'd finally give some a try because I could see them and touch them in person. I'm weird with makeup brushes. I really don't like to buy them unless I can look at them and touch them first, because I never know if it's going to be scratchy or if it's going to work for me or a shape. I'm actually really picky. But I did decide to try this tapered kabuki, the F86. I've seen people use it for their under eye concealer, and I thought it'd be good for maybe some liquid contouring too, because it comes to this nice tapered point, but it could also buff stuff out, so I thought I'd give that a go. Unfortunately, they were out of the E40 brush, which I'm all about a blending brush, but they did have the E35, which is a tapered blending, so I did buy this one because I've also heard really good things about this one. I just like really big fluffy brushes. And this one's still nice and fluffy, it's just a bit smaller, but it still looks like it's gonna do some good work. Another thing I found, I think from that same vendor who was selling Sigma, was the color switch from Veramona. which I haven't actually owned, and I was really skeptical of at first, but I've seen a lot of people use it over the past couple years and they do really seem to like it, so I thought I'd buy it and give it a try because I'm a huge fan of colored eyeshadow, especially red. I wear lots of red eyeshadow, and it's not fun to have red pigment all over your brushes when you want to do normal eyeshadow, so I thought I'd buy this. It comes in this really nice kind of purple packaging, and so got the color switch. I haven't actually ever seen the LA Girl Pro Conceals in store, and I've always wanted to give them a try because a while back they were really popular, and I don't think everyone likes the brush, but I kind of like the little brush applicator. It seems pretty practical. I wouldn't use it to like blend it out, but I like the idea of the application. So I got this one for concealing and highlighting. I wanted to get a darker one for contouring, and I tried a couple of the colors, but they all seem to pull kind of warm on my skin. And so I didn't really want to contour something that pulled kind of warm like that, so I decided against it. Also, at that third-party booth, they were selling a lot of really nice cosmetics that didn't have like their own booths. However, I do think this company did, but I figured instead of going to another booth when they had it right here, I may as well just pick it up at this booth. They had the Lit Cosmetics sets, and I've never actually tried Lit Cosmetics, and I bought a lot of other cosmetic glitter, so I bought the really big container of the Lit Cosmetics glitter glue. I did get the water resistant formula versus the original formula. I liked that it was clear, and then I also like the idea that, you know, the glitter may not come off as easy. And then to go with it, I should try the glitter from Lit Cosmetics. So I got Superfly Holographic Size 2, and it's kind of a black / gunmetal gray with holographic tones. Like, it looks like there's like some hints of purple and blue, but it's mostly like a nice gunmetal gray kind of color. And so that was the glitter I got from Lit. Some more cosmetic glitters I got were from a company called Stargazer. They had a nice deal where it was 2 for £5. And so I got this really nice red color, which is called Current. And then I also got this really nice kind of silver holographic color in Hologram. So I thought I'd give those a go as well. And they're really big, great value for money. That is a lot of glitter. I don't think I'll ever get through quite this much glitter. And then the last cosmetic glitter I picked up is Talia, but they've written the brand name, I think, Mirror. It's the diamond powder, and I think onyx. I think that's what they mean by that. And let me pull it out for you so that I can show you the color. It's kind of a nice, like, kind of black glitter. It's really dark, and it comes in this really cute kind of packaging container. But yeah, it's kind of a nice, like, black glitter. I'm not sure if you can see the colors on the camera. But yeah, I think Talia is the name because the double script is written in 2 different colors on here versus the packaging. Next, I actually stopped by a booth called Lash Unlimited, and I've never heard of them before. And they did have a deal where I think I could get 5 sets of lashes for like £7 or £10. But I didn't really like too many of the styles. I'm not really big on false lashes. I kind of like them to be more fluttery. And there was a lot of them that were just really intense and spiky, and I'm not a fan of spiky lashes. But I did find these. I believe these are the number 7, and they were £2.50 each. So, I mean, even so, I didn't spend that much money. Kind of fluttery, quite a bit longer than I'm usually willing to try, but I figured for so cheap I could at least give them a go and see if I like them. It's nice to try new brands, and yes, they are the number 7s. 2 pairs of those from Lash Unlimited. I got another set of lashes from a company called Mink & Company, and I know that they have Mink Alternative, and so I bought this really beautiful pair, and unfortunately it doesn't look like they have the style name right here. It's the style Fawn, which I'm really glad because these, I've just been looking at these in the pack because, I mean, look at the packaging. It's a little drawer with this little like pearl, and you pull it out and there's just these really beautiful full lashes. And I believe these were £10, which again is really not that terrible because these are those kind of lashes. They're really luxurious and they're meant to last more than, you know, 2 or 3 uses as long as you take care of them. And so I thought I would give those a go. Next, I actually went to the Urban Decay tent, and when I went to the Urban Decay, or not tent, but booth, I intended to buy the Psychedelic Sister liner. However, they were already all sold out of it. And then I also looked at the Chill Makeup Setting Spray, and I carried that to the checkout. when I complimented one of the makeup artist's makeup, and she told me that it was the electric palette, and I was like, oh, that's really beautiful. And I've always wanted the electric palette, but I've always just kind of put it off. And then she informed me that they are actually discontinuing the electric palette, and that whatever's out is what's left out, and a lot of the stores are already sold out. So instead of the chill setting spray, I went for the electric palette because I didn't really want to miss out on it, because I've always kind of wanted it, and I know that the hype on it's kind of over at this point, but I love really bright eyeshadow, like I said in the past, and these colors are just so beautiful. I swatched a bunch of them on the train ride home yesterday, me and my friend, and we were just obsessing over them. And then I was thinking, ooh, pairing these with the Fix Plus, they'll be even more intense, and so I just really can't wait to start playing with this. Bright eyeshadow is some of my favorite makeup. I also went to the NYX booth. Now the NYX booth, I wasn't exactly a fan of the way it was set up. It was quite crowded. There was no samples, so you couldn't actually touch any of the product to test your color. The lips, for the face products, for blushes, eyebrow colors, there was no swatching allowed. And again, it was so crowded, and like you couldn't even get in to see the products, and a lot of them were sold out. And so, but I did pick up a few good products. I was looking for Angel Veil, and unfortunately they didn't have it. But I did get the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in taupe, which I'm actually wearing. It's one of the few products I decided to break into because I was just too curious. I don't know if I'm a fan of this or not. While you're using it, the little part that twists, here, I'll actually show it to you. This right here, while you're using it and putting pressure on your brow, it kind of twists back in. Just kind of like it is a kind of cheaper plastic, which I get keeps the price down. The product's great. I don't think I'm a fan of the packaging, because as you're using it, it's twisting back down and you're having to constantly retwist the product back up. Not because you're using that much product, just because it won't stay out of the tube. So I'm going to keep giving this a couple tries. I do like the color. Again, I do like the formula. It goes on quite nice. Looks pretty natural. Just not sure if I'm a fan of the packaging or not at this point. And then with summer coming, I have a lot of nice, pale foundations because I'm living in England. There's not a lot of sun. But I do get a bit tanner in the summer. And so instead of having to buy all new foundations, I decided to go with the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in Olive, so that I could drop, a drop or two into my foundation to help darken it up a bit. I squirted a little of the Justice on the back of my hand on the train ride home, and it blended out really beautifully. It was really light, so I don't think it'll change the consistency of my foundation, but I do think it'll help with the pigmentation so I can make my foundations last. I only have 2 more booths. I stopped by the Crown Brushes booth, and somehow I only managed to leave with 1 brush. I looked at a lot of the brushes, but again, it was supposed to work in kind of a line around the booth, but people just kept jumping in, and so the line would never move, and so I finally just gave up. But I did manage to get my hands on, I've always wanted to try one of these kind of flat definer brushes. So this is the C432 flat definer. So I'm glad I got my hands on that. I believe it was like 3 or 4 pounds, so it was super cheap. And so I'm actually really happy I managed to get away with that. And then I also managed to get this Crown Brush Makeup Brush Cleaner that just spritzes right on, so I figured this might be something nice. I actually bought this before I found the color switch, but even so, I think it's something practical to kind of spray on my brushes and kind of get some of maybe the pigment off for face brushes, because this is quite small and I think it'll work great for getting powder off of my eyeshadow brushes, which I believe is it's supposed to be its only in use, but this might be good for maybe like my blush and bronzer brushes to kind of get some of that pigment off. So the last product I got was a Z palette, and I actually haven't ever owned a Z palette before. I do have some loose like single pans of like blush or highlighter or eyeshadow hanging around in my collection, but it's somehow never gotten around to owning a Z palette. Again, it's one of those things, I like to see things in person before I buy them. I'm not as big of an online shopper. That being said, I actually do have 2 Makeup Geek Shadow single pans on their way in the mail right now. So I did get the size large, and what I didn't know was that it came with magnets, and so I actually bought an extra set of magnets. But you know what? You can't have too many, because maybe then I can just be able to switch things around in this, or next time I get a Z palette, I will have them. So I'm actually really excited to start filling this up and buying single eyeshadows, because I've always been kind of resistant to, because I didn't have anything to put them in, But then the idea of buying a $20 palette with nothing in it was always just like, do I want to? But I finally bit the bullet and bought it yesterday, and I'm really glad I did. They had a lot of really beautiful designed ones, but I decided for the first one I wanted to go for the nice, just classic black to add to my collection. So that's everything I bought at IMATS today. I really loved IMATS. I just really hope you love all the products I had, and I can't wait to make some more videos for you guys. If you see any of these products that you would really like me to talk about, because I know a lot of them are hyped up products that people have talked about in the past, but I think I did manage to get a couple individual things as well. So just anything you guys would like to see, let me know. Thank you.